A new stock market record, continuing budget battles in Washington, and Filner versus Goldsmith in a San Diego courtroom. Hi, I'm Dwayne Brown. Those stories coming up tonight on KPBS Evening Edition. And does your favorite food truck make the grade with the County Health Department? A new rating system's just been rolled out for mobile eateries.
As John Kerry wraps up his first international mission as Secretary of State, we'll explain what U.S. diplomats really do and why one journalist calls them America's other army. I'm Peggy Pica with that story and more in just a moment.
Local hospitals are trying something new to prevent prescription drug abuse. And we'll tell you about a new effort to trash a ban on plastic grocery bags. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Irwin Jacobs and by
A record-setting day on Wall Street. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closing at 14,253, its highest level ever. Today's rally erased all of the Dow's losses from the Great Recession. It came after news of improving retail sales in the Eurozone, a pledge from China to meet growth targets, and news of strong growth for U.S. service companies. Traders say it's a sign things are getting back to normal, though they're not there yet.
You don't see the champagne bottles and the confetti coming down from the ceiling and the balloons and all that, because there is still a very, very big disconnect between what the market is telling us and what the economy is telling us, right? Last time when we made these highs back in pre-crash in 2007, there was 4.6% unemployment. Jobs were being created. Housing was very stable. People felt better about the economy. They felt better about their own positions in life, right? Today, it's a very different landscape.
The rally also comes as the budget fight in Washington continues. The latest sequester headline, the White House is canceling tours. Meantime, lawmakers are getting ready to pass a new federal budget bill. It's known as the Continuing Resolution, CR for short. It will let the government keep running through September. The bill would not change the automatic 5% cuts to domestic spending. Defense cuts of nearly 8% would also be left alone, but the CR does include funding for military readiness. House Speaker John Boehner says he expects it to pass.
Spending is the problem here in Washington, and our goal is to cut spending, not to shut the government down.
The current resolution expires on March 27th. Boehner urged the president to get serious about a budget deal and long-term spending cuts. The cycle of up and down gas prices is moving back down again. Prices have been falling for the past 6 days after nearly a month of increases. Right now, San Diegans are paying nearly 25 cents a gallon more than earlier February. The Auto Club says oil prices and gas futures are dropping because refineries are producing more fuel. The dispute between San Diego Mayor Bob Filner and hoteliers played out in court this morning. They're suing the mayor because he refuses to release money collected to market the city. Today, a judge weighed in, and KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr joins us for that part of the story. Katie, what did the judge have to say?
Well, Dwayne, the hoteliers were asking the judge for an expedited hearing in their suit because their current marketing money runs out at the end of the month. The judge accepted the request and set a hearing for March 22nd. The hoteliers are part of a tourism marketing district that adds an additional 2% onto hotel room taxes, and that money is then used to market the city. Now, Mayor Filner has refused to release the money, saying he wants a better deal for San Diego.
And I understand there was some drama in the courtroom today.
Yes, the mayor was at the hearing along with City Attorney Jan Goldsmith, and Filner says he can't count on Goldsmith to adequately represent him in the suit. He says he plans to ask the city council for money to hire an outside lawyer. In a statement, the city attorney says he can represent the mayor and that there's no conflict of interest, as Filner suggested there was.
And I'm sure there will be more to come. KPBS Metro reporter Katie Orr. City Council has agreed to a settlement over sewage spills during the big blackout in 2011. Mayor Filner still has to sign off on the $822,000 payment. The money would go to the Regional Water Quality Control Board, which claimed violations at 2 pumping stations led to the spills. And Solana Beach was the first city in the county to ban plastic grocery bags. Now the city's former mayor is pushing to get it repealed. Celine Olson supported the ban when it was passed last year, but some businesses say it's hurting sales. Olson says it should be reconsidered.
And I would like Solana Beach to be the first city that stops the trend.
The ban went into effect in August. Shoppers can buy paper bags for 10 cents, but grocery workers say a lot of shoppers don't want to spend the extra money. Now, we have an update tonight on a county proposal we told you about a year ago. San Diego is now one of the first in the nation to expand its public health service to cover the growing food truck industry. San Diego County was the first in California to rate restaurants on issues related to health. Now it's passing the ABCs onto mobile food trucks and carts.
My name's Rosie Garrett. This is Chris Garrett, my husband.
They've been in the smoothie and coffee business for a year now and received one of the first letter grades from the county for their tasty beverages.
The events that we're at, it's a mobile event. You walk by, you're not really sure. Someone set up in a park somewhere. You know, how good is this stuff? You know, how safe is it? You see the A on my cart, you know that I've been inspected by the health department, and you can feel comfortable, you know, coming to me. The grading system will affect about half of San Diego's 1,100 mobile eateries. It's specifically designed for those who cook and prepare hot and cold food on trucks and carts, not those who sell mostly prepackaged items like chips, snacks, and produce.
By looking at the A, B, or C, they can make an educated decision on if they're making a safe dining choice.
And just like in grade school, the system is based on a 100-point scale. A is a passing grade. B needs improvement, and nobody wants to get a C or failing grade. Supervisor Ron Roberts came up with the proposal about a year ago.
We had some concerns being expressed, and we saw some operators that we didn't think were necessarily doing it with a best practices approach.
Roberts says they work directly with the mobile food industry to come up with the grading system. He says it shouldn't matter where you get your food from. You just need to know it's been stored and prepared properly.
So we're excited. We got one food truck, Chubby's, and a mobile food operator here, Maui Wowie, and they both got A's, and they just were just inspected today.
Over the next 2 months, more than 500 other mobile eateries will also be inspected.
Here with more on the health aspect of food trucks in San Diego is my guest, Heather Bonomo, environmental health specialist for the county. Heather, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now, your department, I understand, has always done inspections of food trucks. So how do you think this grading system will improve public safety, or will it?
It absolutely will. Industry and our department is very excited about implementing it because it's going to give the consumers, the customers, the ability to make an educated choice for their dining decision.
How many food trucks are there here in the county? How many are we talking about? And how will these inspections be done?
There's about 550 trucks that actually cook food, and they're going to have 2 inspections annually. And we're going to be actually finding them out in the field while they're doing business to conduct one of their inspections.
So they won't know ahead of time. You'll say, we're going to show up, and you show up.
Yeah, typically one inspection is a recertification inspection where they know we're coming, and the other is unannounced and in the field.
Now, a lot of these trucks we're talking about, more than 500. That sounds, a lot of those have gone gourmet. I've seen them. Does that change anything when it comes to the inspection?
A little bit. About 50 of our trucks here in San Diego are gourmet. And what we find with the gourmet food trucks is that they have a little bit more of a complex menu. They're doing some more complex cooking processes. So that does require a little bit more time on the end of the inspector to really evaluate that for the food safety portion.
And to be clear, you're inspecting trucks that actually have a kitchen, they are cooking inside the truck, not, let's say, ice cream trucks.
No, not anything that is prepackaged, but trucks and carts where they have any sort of open food where they cook or prepare.
All right. Who pays for these inspections, and how much do they cost?
The cost I'm not so sure about, but all of the permit fees are what pay for the inspections.
Okay. Is it based on, would it be different for different trucks per se, or is it pretty much a flat rate?
It's based on risk. So a full service food truck that, is cooking and preparing food, they have a lot more risk for public safety. So the inspection takes a little bit longer to go through there and evaluate all the food, whereas maybe a little push cart that just has some ice cream, there's not as much that goes into that inspection.
That makes sense. How are foodborne illnesses tracked when it comes to restaurants? And then my follow-up to that is, will this grading system make it easier to do the same for trucks?
So we do have a foodborne illness program, and we work with our department as well as Health and Human Services Agency to track foodborne illness in the county of San Diego. And we can do that for a brick and mortar restaurant or for a gourmet truck. What I think will improve on that end is the consumers will have a little bit better ability to track what truck they're eating at now. You know, they're going to be paying more attention to the type of truck, paying attention to the letter grade, and that will just help our system help improve it a little bit.
So if something does happen, it might be a little bit easier to trace, because they say, I ate at that place that had a C, you know, or a B rating or something like that. Oh, right.
Something else that might help is we have QR codes on our grade cards now, and the customer could take their cell phone, scan the code, and that'll bring them right to our website where they could see the inspection results for that food facility.
Well, that's very easy. All right, we are out of time. Environmental health specialist Heather Bonomo, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez has died after a 2-year battle with cancer. He spent more than 14 years in office. And while he was elected, his critics say his rule was anything but democratic. Chavez was a socialist who opposed U.S. influence. His death was announced hours after Venezuela expelled 2 U.S. diplomats. There will be more on the death of Hugo Chavez on the PBS NewsHour at 7. San Diego Congressman Scott Peters was sworn in just 2 months ago, but a Democratic committee is already making plans to get him reelected in 2014. It's including him in a campaign program to protect vulnerable incumbents. Peters won a narrow majority in November over longtime Republican Brian Bilbray. The program by the Democratic Congressional Campaign focuses on fundraising and outreach. Some San Diego veterans are heading back to boot camp, but as KPBS reporter Susan Murphy tells us, this time it's to learn about jobs in the biotech industry.
35 San Diego veterans attended the all-day conference in Point Loma in hopes of eventually landing a career in the life sciences industry. They received training and guidance from a team of San Diego biotech leaders who say veterans have the technology skills they want. Like Thomas Citrano, he's an officer in the Marine Corps and has served for 22 years. He's getting ready to transition out and wants to launch a career in renewable energy or biofuels. He says the conference has been very helpful.
I've learned quite a bit, and the talent that they've brought here to be on the panel and then to interact with here is incredibly impressive. I'm very excited about what's been going on so far.
From here, the veterans will take an 80-hour online training course. Once they complete the course, they'll receive an industry-endorsed certificate, which brings them one step closer to a biotech career.
Christy Grover is executive director for the Biocom Institute. She says the veteran skill building and mentoring continues until they get a job.
We tell them hot positions. We give them training on how to brand themselves, interviewing. There's a whole host of things that we do, as well as, constantly staying in contact for workshops like this, where we bring life science individuals and professionals to them.
Grover says 600 people have completed the certificate program, and 70% of those are now employed in the biotech industry. The conferences are held monthly and free to veterans and active military personnel. Susan Murphy, KPBS News.
To prevent yourself.
267 San Diegans died from drug overdoses in 2011. Most of the deaths were linked to prescription painkillers like OxyContin. Now, hospital emergency departments are reevaluating their role in dispensing these medications. KPBS health reporter Kenny Goldberg says people looking for refills may soon have to go elsewhere.
Bobby Stevens, not his real name, first started popping OxyContin when he was in high school in North County. His classmates used to hand it out at parties. Stevens soon became hooked. At the height of his addiction, he was taking up to 20 OxyContin pills a day, plus the anti-anxiety drug Xanax and the amphetamine Adderall. He was spending $1,500 a week on his habit. Stevens used to get a lot of his drugs from hospital emergency rooms. He had a few standard lies he would tell the doctors.
That I either had lower back pain or I did something to my knee running. It pretty much was the same story every time. I would go to different doctors. I wouldn't go to the same ER. So I can pretty much use the same story.
Most of the time, ER doctors would give Stevens a prescription for at least a month's worth of pills. How much acting did it involve on your part to get the meds in the ER?
Not much, to be completely honest. You know, I would just explain the pain that I had, but they were so busy, it seemed like, that they took you for your word and wrote you the prescription. So there wasn't a whole lot of, I mean, I didn't have to do x-rays, I didn't have to do an MRI or any of that type of stuff. They just asked what I was there for, and they wrote me the script.
Sales of prescription opiates have skyrocketed in recent years. So have drug-related deaths. And what's the major source of these drugs? It's not your local doctor, it's hospital emergency departments.
Well, I think all the emergency departments are experiencing an incredible influx of opiate requests and opiate-related emergencies. So when I say we're at the epicenter, we're just one of the emergency departments here in town that are seeing a deluge of these patients.
Alvarado Hospital sits right off a trolley stop in La Mesa. That makes it convenient for patients who need to see a doctor right away. Dr. Kelly points out physicians can't always tell when someone is in pain or just faking it.
Our goal, first of all, is we want to help. So each case we look at and we say, how can I help this person? And then second, we really want to do no harm, and that's where a lot of the narcotic issues come up. So there's a lot of harm that's related to the use and misuse of these medications.
Yeah. I'm not sure where though.
The emergency department at Scripps Mercy Hospital in Hillcrest is one of San Diego's busiest. More than 57,000 patients were treated here last year. Dr. Ranit Lev says lately she's noticed an enormous increase in patients who are asking for painkillers. These days, about 1 out of 5 patients in her ED are taking narcotics.
You know, when you talk about, cocaine or heroin, you talk about the drug lords in Colombia, and you talk about designer drugs such as spice and bath salts, those are the chemists in China. But prescription drug abuse and deaths usually are given by well-intentioned, well-meaning physicians, and we need to kind of change the way we practice and get a hold of this epidemic.
To that end, Dr. Lev is leading an effort to change the way local emergency departments dispense painkillers. With the help of some other ED doctors in San Diego, Lev has come up with a set of guidelines. Under the new rules, people who come to the ED for chronic pain will be directed to visit their primary care doctor.
Someone who has pain for more than 3 months or needs any long-acting pain medications that last in the body for a long time, those are the people who need to get all their prescriptions coordinated by one prescriber and one pharmacy.
Dr. Lev says these changes will not affect people with acute or sudden pain from, say, a broken arm or a kidney stone. They'll be treated with the appropriate pain therapy. The new guidelines will affect people complaining of chronic pain.
That's the population at risk who die unintentionally. They don't know that they're taking all these medicines from different providers, different prescribers. They got something from the ER, something from the psychiatrist, something from the primary care doctor, and people die from that. And that's what we want to get a grasp on and prevent.
Dr. Michelle Lamantilla directs the chronic pain program at the San Isidro Health Center, a network of community clinics in the South Bay. She says there are some non-narcotic prescription drugs that are quite effective for chronic pain. Lamantilla thinks doctors who prescribe narcotic painkillers need to be more careful.
I think sometimes we feel it's only 1% of people that might have a problem with the drugs and that we as physicians are going to easily be able to pick them up, but that's really not the case.
All hospitals in San Diego and Imperial County have tentatively agreed to the new narcotic guidelines. They could be rolled out sometime this spring. After 8 years of abusing narcotics, Bobby Stevens has finally quit. He's been in recovery now for 4 months. Stevens wishes those emergency room guidelines had been in place back when he got hooked on painkillers.
I don't personally feel like I would be where I'm at today if they weren't so easily available. So I think it's a great thing.
In 2010, more than 16,000 Americans died from an overdose of prescription narcotics. Kenny Goldberg, KPBS News.
John Kerry is wrapping up his first international trip as the U.S. Secretary of State. Peggy Pico finds out what it means to be the nation's top diplomat.
U.S. diplomacy affects the everyday lives of Americans, including their safety, security, ability to travel, communicate in other countries, and their employment and overall prosperity. That's a quote from the book America's Other Army, the U.S. Foreign Service and 21st Century Diplomacy, written by my guest, Nicholas Kralev, a journalist and foreign correspondent. Nicholas, thanks so much for being here.
Pleasure.
Now, for nearly a decade, you traveled with 4 secretaries of state. You also, for this book, did some research where I believe you visited 50 embassies and interviewed more than 600 diplomats, right? So why do you think, all that work, why do you think it's important that Americans understand the role of a diplomat, a foreign diplomat?
Well, because, first of all, to do what they do, American diplomats spend our taxpayers' money. I would like to know how my money is being spent overseas. I would like to know, for myself, not even as a journalist, but as a citizen, whether all these people who work at those embassies, there are 275 American diplomatic missions around the world. Do all these people need to be there? If they do some of their work by phone and email, can they just do it out of the State Department in Washington? Do we need to pay for their moving expenses, their housing, their children's education? Because we pay for all that. I'm not saying we shouldn't. I just want to know how exactly our money is being spent. And probably more importantly, what the American Foreign Service does today, what it has been asked to do by the White House since 9/11 is nothing short of changing the world.
Right, and it has changed. I wanted to ask you about that. You've said in your book, global diplomacy has certainly changed, especially with 9/11. Better, worse? How so?
Oh, I don't think it's better or worse. It's changed. We have to deal with it. And it changed because 9/11 taught us several lessons, the first of which was that the 2 oceans on either side of the homeland don't protect the homeland anymore. And so what the Foreign Service now is being asked to do is to go out in various countries around the world and make sure that they don't become failed states and make sure that they practice good and effective governance.
Let me ask you this, though. These changes that have happened, how much training do we have for these diplomats going out now? So whole new world, whole different kind of diplomat, right, including security issues. So what kind of training do they receive?
And this question is so important because what the American Foreign Service does today directly affects our security here at home. We're not just talking about American interest overseas or Americans traveling overseas. We're talking about the security of the homeland being affected by people who might be sent here on a plane with a bomb in their underwear or their shoes, or, God forbid, anthrax that they could release in the U.S. But the training they receive is minimal, and professional development, which is, of course, more than training, really doesn't exist in the U.S. Foreign Service to this day. American diplomats are basically asked to learn on the job, to improvise, to figure things out. I call it almost by osmosis, and hopefully have mentors who would teach them the right things. But it's a big organization, and there are good bosses there as well as bad ones. And so just relying on luck, on being in the right place at the right time, and on figuring things out on your own seems not possibly the best thing to do when the security of your country is at stake.
And a little risky, I think. I think last year's deadly attack on the U.S. Embassy, Benghazi, kind of highlighted that. Has that changed anything?
Well, the report actually on the attack that was done by an independent panel headed by Ambassador Tom Pickering and Admiral Mullen talked about training and the lack of training, which is really very, very important. And it's not only training the security people how to protect the personnel and the building. It's also about the diplomats themselves knowing how to handle situations in a foreign country, how to deal with local cultures, how to communicate and work with the people in those countries.
Do you think that John Kerry, now that he's America's chief diplomat and he's just wrapping up his first international mission, do you think he is going to change that? And what challenges do you think he particularly face?
The change, to a large extent, depends on how much money he has and how much the Congress actually gives him. But I do think Kerry, with his background of having grown up in the Foreign Service, having been in the Senate for so long, having been on the Foreign Relations Committee and chaired that committee in the last few years, could be very good for the Foreign Service. He has the potential to be possibly one of the best Secretaries of State for the Foreign Service, because I believe he understands that the way the Foreign Service operates should be a 21st century way, and not the way that the Foreign Service operated perhaps 2 or 3 decades ago.
Because it's
and I hope that he will look at the whole picture and really try to fix not just little things here and there, but the entire system, not only training and professional development, but also the assignment system, the promotion system, because the promotion system actually is what I got the biggest complaints about in the Foreign Service.
And I wish we could talk more about that, but people can find out more about it on our website, kpbs.org. We are out of time. Nicholas Kralev, thanks so much for talking with us.
You're welcome.
I'm Ray Suarez. On the next News Hour, confirmation hearings for White House counterterrorism advisor John Brennan to lead the CIA. That's Tuesday on the PBS News Hour.
Remember those bald eagles nesting near the Ramona Airport? Biologists say they may have an eaglet on the way. They say they observe mating behavior, and the female has settled down, apparently incubating an egg. It takes about 43 days for an eagle egg to hatch, so the baby could arrive by early April. Get your umbrella ready. The Weather Service says rain is on the way later this week, and it will be a chilly storm. Temperatures will drop over the next few days. They'll be down to the 30s at night in the mountains. Even the desert will cool, with temperatures in the mid-60s by Friday. Tonight's stories are on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. You have a great night.